Hi, this is Sri Priya Madan from Shrishti Technology Labs. In this session, let us learn about the data types used in Java. Let us see what are the data types available in Java, how to create variables, what is the use of literals, how to give literal values to the variables, what is typecasting, and a simple hello world program in Java. Data types. The two data types that are available in Java are primitive data types and reference data types. Primitive data types are also called as inbuilt data types. They are integer types, floating point types, character, and boolean. Reference data types are also called as user defined data types. They are arrays, class, which a user defines, string. String in Java is a class. Primitive data types. In primitive data types, we have seen integer types, floating point, character, and boolean. In integer types, there are four categories: byte, short, int, long. The ranges are given very clearly. In floating point, there are two types, float and double. By default, all the floating point numbers are double in Java. To represent a single character, we are using char data type in Java, which is a signed data type. So the range is from 0 to 65536. Boolean in Java takes only true or false. It does not take the value 0 or 1. The default value for Boolean is false. So two things you need to remember about primitive data types. All floating point numbers are by default double in Java. That is, when you represent a value 10.5, it means that it takes 64 bits. Boolean takes only true or false. It does not take a value of 0 or 1. And the default value for Boolean is false. Variables. What are the rules for a variable declaration in Java? It can start with dollar or underscore or an alphabet. It can be of any maximum length. It can be either lowercase or uppercase. So example for variables. It can be dollar money, name, last underscore name. What cannot be there in a variable declaration? It cannot start with number. It cannot be keywords or special characters. Like you are not supposed to use for, try, catch. These are keywords which are available. We will see that also. It starts with a number, so it is wrong. To declare a variable, you need to use the data type first, then the variable name. Int is a data type. First underscore name is the variable name. Literals. What value you are going to give for the variable is called as a literal. In integer data types, there are three different types. One is decimal, octal, and hexadecimal. For decimal, you can declare the values directly. If you want to declare a variable as an octal number, it is mandatory that you need to start with 0. I have declared y as an octal number. So the value is int y is equal to 034. 34 is not a decimal number, it is an octal number. The equivalent decimal value for 034 is 28, which is also represented here. So this is an octal number, this is a decimal number. If you want to represent a hexadecimal number for a variable, you are supposed to use 0x. The moment you provide 0x, the compiler understands that it is a hexadecimal number. To represent a long variable, you can either suffix the number with capital L or lowercase l. Both are same. For floating point, as I told you already, by default all the floating point numbers in Java are double. So if you want to represent, you can directly represent. I have represented 45.9 as a double variable. You can also suffix it with D or capital D. But if you want to represent a float variable, it is mandatory that you need to suffix it with F or capital F. If you don't give that, it becomes a compiler error. Why? Because 45.9 or 56.4, they are just double values which take 64 bits. Trying to accommodate them in a float variable which is of 32 bits will give you a compiler error. To make the compiler understand that this is a float variable, you need to suffix the variable with lowercase f or uppercase f. Character. Character is for simple Unicode representation of characters. If you want to represent any special characters, if you want to represent backspace, backslash, double quotes or single quotes, you can go in for character representation. These are the corresponding symbols. To print welcome to Java within double quotes, I have used backslash double quotes before and after welcome to Java. To represent Boolean, Boolean B equal to true. As I told already, the default value for Boolean is false. What we have seen is what are the data types available. The next part what we have seen is the variable name. Then we have seen what is a literal. I am showing it clearly. Boolean is the data type, B is the variable name, true is the literal value. So now you know how to declare a variable in Java. The next step what you need to know is about typecasting. What is typecasting? If I want to convert my variable from one data type to another data type, we are going in for typecasting. In typecasting, there are two types. One is upcasting or automatic conversion. The other one is downcasting or narrowing conversion. Upcasting happens if two types are compatible and if the target data type is greater than that of the source. Here I have given int y is equal to 40. Then I am trying to take this value and accommodate it inside long. Int takes 32 bits, long takes 64 bits. So automatically y will be upcasted to long. So this is called as automatic conversion or upcasting. Suppose I am having a long variable. I want to convert it into int. Is it possible? Long is of 64 bits, int is of 32 bits. You are trying to accommodate a bigger value into a smaller value, which is not possible. So it will give you a compiler error. What you need to do is, you need to add the data type to which you want to convert in front of the variable. So I want to convert y into type int. So I have added int in front of that variable y. To what data type you want to convert, that data type must be added in front of the variable. So I want to convert y into int. So I have added this int in front of y. This is called as downcasting. Next, let us move on to a simple hello world program. Whatever classes you are going to write in Java has to start with the keyword class. The class name has to be first letter capital. It has to be a noun. Within the class, I have created a method public static void main. The syntax has to be same. Public static void main string args, or it can be static public void main string args. What is the use of this method? This is the method which makes your JVM to gain entry into your Java class. So the JVM will start the execution only from this method. Let me explain the keywords in that method. Public, it means it can be accessed from everywhere. Static. Why this method is a static method? Static means you can access this method without creating any objects. Since the JVM is going to start the execution from this method, you don't need any object or you don't have any object. So we have made this method as static. Void. Of course you know void means no return type. Main. Main is the name of the method. String args is nothing but a string array which helps you to get values from the command line when you run the program. public static void main string args has to be the exact syntax, or you can have it as static public void main string args. If you don't have this public static void main method in your Java class, the program will get compiled. The compiler will compile the class, but the JVM will not run this program because this method is not available. Next, system.out. This is an object of output stream which helps to print the output to the console. Println is a method. It will print the value and move the cursor to the next line. That is why it is println. This is the program. So, how to write, save, compile and run this Java program? You can open Notepad or any editor or Eclipse and type the program. Save this file as demo.java. Say assume I am saving it in D Java programs. Open command prompt. Move to the folder where your Java program is saved. That is, you need to say cd d:/Java programs. You are gaining an entry into that folder. To compile, you need to type javac space demo.java. When you say javac demo.java, the class file will be created in your same folder. To run this program, you need to run the class file. So use java space demo. Demo is the name of your class file. The program will print the output as hello. In a file, you can have any number of Java classes, but only one public class. If only normal classes are there, you can save it in any name. But if there is a public class, you are supposed to save it only in public class name. When you compile the Java file, separate classes will be generated. To run the file, run the Java class which has public static void main. Whatever we have learnt till now, a simple hello world application and typecasting, let us see them using real practical example using Eclipse IDE. In the next session, let us learn about arrays. Thank you.